Peace, YouTube. This particular video is more like a documentary than a video, and it was inspired by the series called Hidden Colors, as the speakers in this movie use particular terms, and by the use of these particular terms, I think they mislead people to believe this is appropriate. You know, that type of language and those type of terms are appropriate to use when depicting self, especially if you're of the melanin dominant persuasion. So take a look at the definitions and so forth, and draw a conclusion based on fact when referring to self. Okay? Peace. Alright, YouTube, as I said earlier in this series that I would describe what black is and define it and so forth, I've taken a definition of black from the Random House College Dictionary, and I have it on my screen in front of us. And what you can see is that black, being an adjective, is lacking. Wait a minute, first of all, let's say you call yourself a black person or a black man or a black woman. First thing you are is lacking. Now, we're going to see what you may be considered lacking. You're lacking hue. You're lacking brightness. You know how we refer to being intelligent or being sharp-minded as being bright? You know, when you're smart, you're considered bright. So you're lacking brightness. You must be lacking brightness to refer to yourself as black. Anyway, absorbing light without reflecting any of the rays composing it, as the type on this page. So the type on this page is not reflecting any light, and apparently neither is a black man or a black woman, right? Then down here it says number 3, pertaining to or belonging to an ethnic group categorized by dark skin pigmentation, Negro. So black is the same as Negro. So if you call yourself black, you might as well call yourself Negro. Okay? Anyway. Number 4, soiled or stained with dirt. So you are a man or a woman soiled or stained with dirt, right? Then it talks about how you're hostile, harmful, inexcusable, without any moral light or goodness, evil or wicked. So you'll consider yourself, I mean, you may look at yourself as being something other than what somebody else may look at you, but that's irrelevant, because the energy of the word is the vibration that's given off, especially when you use that word describing self. Okay? Now, these people in this movie was black man this and black man that, and another big advocate for black is Louis Farrakhan. Black man this and black man that, knowing very well that his teacher, Farah Muhammad, was taught by Noble Drew Ali. I can prove it. I got a photograph with him sitting up there, sitting under the prophet's tutelage. But nevertheless, he broke away from the Moor Science Temple and went and started the Nation of Islam, and started doing very contrary to everything that the prophet is doing. Now, if you call yourself black, then you're doing contrary to what the prophet taught also, because he said that you're not Negro, black, or colored. That's an NBC, in case you didn't know. And most of you watch NBC on a regular basis. Anyway, marked or ruined, right? Marked by ruin or desolation, as will be indicated in black on a map, right? So that covers it pretty good. Hold on, let's see if there's some more on this page. Hold on here. I think that covered it pretty good, but here we go. Black or Moor. Black or Moor is a Negro, right? Any dark-skinned person, okay, is a blackamoor. Right, hold on. I got another definition. You know, they talked about Moor in this movie. And by the way, I went looking for this term black in the Black's Law Dictionary, and I looked through 6 editions of Black's Law Dictionary, 1 through 6, and did not find the term black, because there's another definition that one should know about this word black as far as the law is concerned. And if anybody knows exactly where that definition is, please let me know. I remember reading it before, but I can't find it. I wanted to show it to you. But anyway, we're going to go on to another definition, the definition of Moor. There's one individual in the movie who appeared to be, I don't know, you know, he appeared to be contrary to universal expansion. For those in metaphysics who might understand what I'm saying. But anyway, he said that the word Moor means black. That's all it means, he said, right? But anyway, let's take a look and see if that's all it means, because without even looking, I can tell you that the word Moor was taken from the term Moroccan. See, Moors are descendants of Moroccans, and we here in the Americas are descendants of Moroccans born in America. Okay? Anyway, hold on. Let's look at Moor. Okay, here we go, people. Look at this. The term Moorish, for those of you who are Moorish Americans, I mean, maybe you need to take a look at the answer I gave to the Asiatic that asked me could he use his Moorish American ID card to get a job and rent an apartment or whatever the case may be. It's the first question that was posed to me on a different channel, but nevertheless it applied to this channel, so I answered that question for him. So maybe you can take a look at that. Anyway, right here, Moorish, right? Of, it's an adjective, right? Of, comma, pertaining to, comma, or resembling the Moors, right? So Moorish means it came from the Moor, right? Was pertaining to Moors, right? Or resembling the Moors. Okay? All right, so now let's look at the word Moor itself. M-O-O-R, right here. A Muslim of the mixed Berber and Arab people inhabiting Northwest Africa. So this is an African people of African descent, I should say, which of course Morocco is in Africa, all right, or what was previously known as Ethiopia, but right now it's referred to as Africa, right, which Africa is really not Asiatic name. It came from some Europeans who conquered Africa. But anyway, number two, formerly in European use, a Muslim, right? So it's trying to equate Moors with being Muslim, right? Of a mixed Berber and Arab people. So actually, Moor is not necessarily Muslim, but the majority of the Moors that they found was Muslim, especially the ones that they stole off of the continent that we call Africa and brought them to the Americas and other places around the world. And they saw that these ones believed in Islam and practices, being a Muslim, right? So they referred to all of them, since they was a dark-skinned people, referred to all of them as being Muslim, but they of the Berber or Arab people. Of course, we already know that you don't necessarily know, but Arabs are a dark-skinned people, okay? And the ones that we call Arabs are not, just like the ones we call Egyptians are not the original Egyptians. The original Egyptians are dark-skinned or a heavily melanated people, all right? So there you go. There are your two definitions, black, Moor, and we even saw blackamoor. So if you got any questions, ask the Sheik. All right, now let's take another look at this word, Moorish, because this is a big controversy going on with so-called Moorish Americans. My contention is that Moorish American is not a nationality. See, because Moorish is an adjective. And if you had anything in grammar school, which maybe you need to understand what grammar is, but anyway, in grammar school, right, adjectives describe things. So Moorish describes something of, comma, or pertaining to Moors, right? Then it says, or resembling the Moors. So Moorish describes something resembling Moors, or a Moorish is somebody who resembles a Moor. He resembles a Moor. Not a Moor, not a Moroccan, not a descendant of Morocco or Moroccans, right? But something that resembles a Moor, right? Like an Asiatic eating a pork chop sandwich. He may very well resemble a Moor, but you can tell by his activities that he's not. Because when we looked at the other definition of a Moor, right, it says a Muslim. And of course we know Muslims don't eat swine. That's even depicted in the movie. It was a many-part series with Kunta Kinte and Chicken George and all of them ones, right? And the first thing that they tried to do with Kunta Kinte is change his name, like the Europeans always do. They want to change your name. They got you calling yourselves Dixon and George, and like some of these names right here, George and Edward and John, and you feel me? They changed your name. Just like they was attempting to change Kunta Kinte's name. And they changed his name to Toby, which means to obey. And so they wanted him to obey because the nature of a man is in his name. So in order to get a man to obey or to act like a European, then give him a name like George. You feel me? See, we need to learn how to honor our fathers and our mothers. our ancient forefathers and our ancient foremothers' name wasn't George and John and Henry and Joseph and none of that other crap. You feel me? Get a European back what belonged to him. You know, even in the script, the Bible talks, it say, give unto Caesars the things that are Caesar's. That's his name and his ways and his holidays and all the rest of it. But I'm not going there right now. I'm going to stick to this. And again, the name or the title Moorish is something like a Moor. Right? There's a lot of ones out here that's something like a Moor. I see them all the time. You know, they call themselves all types of stuff. They call themselves Christians and Baptists and, you know, Kappa, Alpha, Psi, and all kind of Greek names and all types of stuff. I mean, our people are confused. Totally confused. And the root meaning of confused means not together, separated. And if you look at it, that's how we are, especially ones that call themselves Moors. You got one on one end of the country is doing one thing and another doing something different. There's no unity whatsoever. The main thing that the prophet wanted was for us to unify and come together as one. But I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening no time soon anyway. You know, at one time they never thought that we'd have a black president in the United States, because I don't have a president. The Creator is my president. But anyway, they thought that we never have a black president in the United States, and we still don't. Barack Obama's not black. Look at his mom. What nationality is she? What people do she come from? She come from the Caucasian people, from the Caucasoid Mountains. You know, the cave dwellers. That's where his mom came from. So you know how they say, the fruit don't fall far from the tree. If the tree is a Caucasian, then the fruit that fell from the tree is Caucasian. It's all that simple. We are what our mamas are. That's what it is. Anyway. All right. We got black back on the screen. There's a couple more points I want to make about this term. You probably saw it the last time I had it on the screen, but I just want to verbalize it for those of you who are just listening and not actually reading your screen, or if the type is too small where you can't read it. There's a couple things on here that that talks about black, which I wanted to describe, like this one right here, for example. Number 11. Indicating censure, disgrace, right? A black mark on one's record. Of course, I talked about this one already. Without more light or goodness, evil or wicked, so forth and so on. We're going to go a little further. I know where this term black and being black came from. I got enough years on me to remember before Asiatic people started calling themselves black. They was talking about they was colored and Negro and everything but a nigger, right? I mean, they don't even know what nigger mean. If they did, then they wouldn't be trying to hide from it. Term nigger refers to a different people, which one of my videos talks about is the evolution of the human. Describes what a nigger is. So when you get a chance, go take a look at that if you haven't already. Right? Anyway, let's go a little further.
1, 2, 3, 4. Put your pants
Now see people, this is where that black talk comes from. James Brown started it. He got wind of the term black and he put it in the song and he started dancing and jumping around. And look at this video. It's got a bunch of Europeans sitting around singing and moving to the term black and I'm proud. So maybe it adds a little credibility to my sister Yafa Bay's definition of black. You feel me?
Man, look at him. Say it loud.
I want to make another point about this term Moorish. Now, of course, it's an adjective and it describes things pertaining to Moors or resembling Moors, right? So let's say we wanted to refer to something that is Moorish. Now, Moorish could very well be where you live, right? Let's say you lived in America and you wanted to describe the part of America that you lived in. You could call that Moorish America. But to say you are a Moorish American is not saying that you have a nationality, right? Matter of fact, if you want to be technical, America is a continent. So to refer to America as being a nation is improper. It's just like calling Africa a nation. For those of you who like to call yourself African Americans, that's two continents. It's not a nation. A nation is like a tribe of individuals, you know, like the Cherokee, Washita, Wichita. Those tribes are nations because they have like customs, traits, language, and territory. That's what makes up a nation. Anyway, we're going to go a little further because this term Moorish, it needs to be totally understood. And those of you who calling yourself something like a Moor, you know, resembling a Moor, maybe you need to correct that, or maybe you need to become all the way a Moor and quit being something that resembles a Moor, because, you know, you got Asiatics sitting up in these Catholic and Christian churches. And so, you know, you got to be called something, so you're Moorish. You're something like a Moor because you're not all the way Moor. Because remember, we just read what Moor was as far as the religion was concerned. They're considered to be Muslim. So if you're sitting up in a Christian church, you're Moorish. All right? So people, if you got any questions on just about any subject matter and you want some straight answers, you can ask the Sheik. I'm going to give it to you straight. Until the next time, peace.